So today I'm joined by Giedre Brandao. Giedre is the managing director of AbBaltis, and they provide high quality disease state plasma, serum, and residual clinical samples to the in vitro diagnostics industry and research community. I should have got you to say that, Giedre, because it's quite a mouthful, but welcome, Giedre.
Yeah. Hi there.
Hi, thank you very much for joining us. And Giedre, look, it sounds really interesting what you do there. We've got words in there like disease state plasma and, serum and that sort of thing. So tell us a bit more about what you do.
So, to put it in layman's terms, probably everybody has had a blood test done.
Yeah,
So we help scientists who develop diagnostic test kits
yeah,
to make them better, and also we help hospitals to ensure that each test that is done is properly controlled,
yeah,
and all the positives are positives in essence. All the positive tests that are being done for patients, how to say it, let me try again. Basically, we help scientists
yeah,
to develop diagnostic test kits
yeah.
with our materials, and also our materials are used as controls, positive and negative, in the hospital tests. So
Oh,
if you go to the hospital and you get your blood tested, the hospital needs to know if the machine that was running the samples worked correctly.
aye, of course,
And
yeah.
in order for them to do that quality check, they have to put a known positive and a known negative into the machine. And
Okay.
if the known positive is positive, that's fine. And if the known negative is fine. But then if, let's say, the positive that you put in turns negative or is read as negative, then you know there was a problem with the machine and you cannot trust the results. So in other words, if you have if you're being tested for, let's say, wheat allergy,
Yeah,
and in the machine where they test your sample, there has to be another sample that is wheat allergy positive,
yeah.
and that wheat allergy positive sample has to be read by the machine as positive. Otherwise, your test is invalid.
Oh, okay. That's really interesting. So yeah, so it gives that, as you say, that well, effectively make sure that the machine is giving a correct reading.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Brilliant.
for that, you need biological samples
Yeah.
qualified in the lab, as we have. And we run probably about 10,000 tests a month in our lab.
Wow, that's a lot of tests. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Giedre, thank you for giving that background. So, how? Oh, actually, look, let's go back to the beginning. And why did you decide to start up your own business? Because I think, am I right in saying you started it around about 2010, something like that?
2010. So
Yeah.
it's a very interesting story. So I'm a scientist by training,
Okay.
and I always like biology. I always like science since childhood. I wanted to be uh, in the science in biology field, and then I worked. So my bachelor's degree is in biology. Master's, I did my master's in the U.S. in biotechnology, and I worked as a bench scientist, which I really enjoyed. And then in 2008, moved to the UK because I wanted to work in sort of, rather than in the science sort of bench as a bench scientist, I wanted to move into the business field.
Yeah.
And while working in the industry, I saw the need that no other companies were filling in. Is that basically the need is for well qualified disease state plasma,
Okay.
with supported with a lot of data.
Yeah.
And I realized that most of such materials in the market are very poorly qualified. They don't they are not tested thoroughly. So when the scientist wants to develop a new test, or they want to improve their existing test, they have to do a lot of that testing themselves, which means that their discoveries are delayed, their
Okay.
research is slower.
Yeah.
And this is basically the niche we cover in the market, and that's why we've been very, very successful. And on a personal level, I have 4 children now. At that time, I had 2 children, and I felt like that the job market didn't offer enough flexibility to me.
Okay.
And this was a way to actually contribute to a scientific community while maintaining certain level of flexibility and controlling my life.
Okay. So yeah. So what I picked up from there is that you saw the need in the market. You thought, right, okay, you can help people to solve that need, and it served your personal circumstances.
Exactly.
Or it gives you the
Exactly.
the flexibility to
Exactly.
I guess what to work the hours that you wanted to work, to be there for your children, those type of things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, okay,
Absolutely.
great. And
So, and I think with that, we created a work culture that we that helps other people with different needs,
okay,
be it sort of family needs or sometimes personal development needs.
yeah,
So, for example, we have 2 people who just finished their master's degree
okay,
in biotechnology, and we supported them through that. And now, additional 2 people are doing advanced apprenticeship, where they are getting their management degree. Um,
very good.
and basically, we were able to do that because of the flexibility ethos of the company. Having said that, flexibility doesn't mean taking it easy and being laid back.
Yeah,
I think it's very important to understand that and interpret that correctly, because
yes.
sometimes flexibility can be understood as, you know, anything goes, but that's not the way it works. Uh,
I,
this means that you have to be even more focused, and in the hours that you have, do your job well, and really get the results.
I think that's the key thing, isn't it? With flexibility, is making it clear with the team, the individuals, of the results that are expected.
Absolutely.
Because you can, and you can sort of say to people, look, these are the results that we expect from you as an individual, as a team. How you get those results through the business's value, culture, etc., is up to you. The hours that maybe that work, we can be flexible with that. But the key thing is actually the outcome is the result. So,
Absolutely.
and I think that's a great way of explaining it. So thank you very much, Giedre, for explaining how you view flexibility there. And what I should say is, from those beginnings when you started out in 2010, I mean, you're now recruiting a significant number of people. How many people do you recruit at the moment?
We have just under 30 people.
So just under 30 people. So you've really, you've really grown over that time frame. Um, what would you say has been your biggest challenge from taking the business from back in 2010 to a startup that you were doing, and you wanted family flexibility, to a business today that employs over 30 people? What was the biggest challenge you faced in that?
I think scaling business is sometimes challenging,
Mm,
because you have to keep the culture
hmm
of that smaller agile business as you grow.
hmm
And so complacency, sort of feeling comfortable because we're bigger, we are more comfortable. That sets in, because in a smaller business, people see the impact a lot more, and
yeah,
in a bigger business, well, if they don't see direct effect of what they do exactly. So that needs to be communicated very, very clearly, and you have to be a lot more sort of vigilant with the people that you have, and ensure that the company values are still there, the culture is still there, and the productivity is still there.
I think there's some key words there, isn't there? I was just writing down: values, culture, productivity. All key words, aren't they, in scaling a business? And how about you personally, Giedre? How's your role changed during that time? Bearing in mind that now that you're the owner and managing director of a business that employs over 30 people, compared
Yeah.
to how it was when you started out. How's your role changed?
So I sort of remember those days quite dearly. It's in the beginning, I used to do everything, the invoicing and packing and testing and sales, and I think sort of invoicing was and VAT returns was something that I didn't like at all. But I had to learn everything, customs clearance, customs paperwork. And at the moment, my role is more so of a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I enjoy that a lot more. It
Okay.
comes with its own challenges, because sometimes uh, getting people to understand certain concepts takes a little bit of time. And something that comes to me naturally doesn't come naturally to other people.
Yeah.
But having said that, it's quite nice to see people develop, and people have the aha moment, and people get it.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. So, but it's almost like nice to remember those days where I had to wear so many hats, and I think I look back with more like rose tinted glasses, because I sort of remember I didn't enjoy everything, the paperwork and the customs paperwork, filling all the forms. But having said that, it's a good memory.
Yeah, and I like the way you've sort of described how your roles changed there, Giedre, because one of the things that I work with my clients in is moving from that solopreneur where you're wearing all the hats that you've said, and then as the business grows, to being a manager, so that you're actually
Yeah,
starting to manage things, and then as the business grows even further, to become that leader, a leader
yeah,
of people. And there's a real transition that individuals need to go through at each stage. Some people are better at it than others. Some people find it easy, some people find it difficult, which links into what you said there about, yeah, some people learn in different ways, learn concepts in different ways, pick them up in different ways. So really good points. And if you could wave a magic wand and solve one challenge in your business right now, what would it be?
oh, um I think well, recruitment is always a challenge, I think.
Hmm. Okay.
So finding and we've done much better since COVID, because now we have extra flexibility because of remote working, and but also finding people that buy into the culture. They take on flexibility, but they also are able to deliver the results. So finding those people, I think, is always a challenge. um, and we've done quite well recently. We've been able to onboard a number of very good people that are very good. They understand our culture, they understand what we want to do, where we want to go. But it takes a lot of time to find the people that will work for our culture, our business, our niche business as well, because it's quite scientific of what we do. So we need that ability to absorb that specialized knowledge. We have over, I want to say, probably, if we take all the allergies and all the infectious diseases, we have probably 900 or more different products. So and those products are scientific products, so you have to understand the science behind them. You so there's a lot. It takes a really special person to be able to absorb that much information.
So, if you had to pick one thing that you look for in all of your team members, what would that one thing be?
I think curiosity.
Curiosity. Yeah, it's a good
So
one.
again, wanting to understand what is this? How do I do that? And I think with a younger generation, I think because they probably didn't spend as much time playing outdoors, I think that is something that we find it more difficult to
Really good point.
to find in them. I think a lot of young generation, they've been supported for such a lot, supported at school, supported at home, and then they want to be led and supported at work. But at some point, you have to take the training wheels, and they need to go by themselves, on their own. And I think they just don't want to let go sometimes.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I think that's a great one that you said there. The wanting your team members to be curious. That's great. And what would you say your biggest learning has been since you've been in business?
I think the biggest learning is about myself. So how my flaws, my sort of me as a person, how it can positively or negatively affect the business. So whatever good things I do, or if I grow and I learn, that can have very big positive effects on the business, and sort of my mistakes can have very big detrimental effect on the business. So that, I think that's the biggest sort of learning curve, is understanding those sort of aspects of your personality that you need to work and improve.
That's fantastic self-awareness, Giedre, I've got to say. And by the way, I completely agree with you that sometimes as business owners, we look at the business and go, well, what's wrong with the business? What's wrong with the industry? What's wrong with my people? What's wrong with my financials? Rather than looking in the mirror,
Yeah,
and sort of actually going, well, hold on. What can I improve about me? What do I need to change about me? What do I need to develop about me so that those things in my business are better? And that's fantastic self-awareness that you've got there. Is there anything? I mean, you said earlier that one of the things you didn't enjoy doing was things like invoicing and your VAT returns. Is there anything that you've had to learn along the way that you've sort of thought, actually, I need to develop that area, or have you covered that off by recruiting people and saying, well, actually, I don't like this area. I'm actually not very good at it. Let's recruit somebody in that's better than me.
yeah.
How have you managed that?
Well, I think recruitment is one of the areas that I needed extra support, and I have a fantastic HR person,
Fantastic.
Gabriella. She's really great. But we work as a team. We sort of quite nicely collaborate on during interviews. Sometimes I see certain things in people that she might miss, and the other way around.
Yeah.
So, and that sort of using your brain power together
Mm.
actually gives a lot better results. But recruitment, I think, is the most difficult part of the business. It makes or breaks the business.
Again, a really, really valuable point. You're absolutely right. And I think sometimes we can forget that as business owners, in how important it is to recruit the right people, and then also to develop them once we've got them. So two really, really, really important things there. Okay. And look, there's one question, Giedre, that I always like to ask everybody that's kind enough to join me on these discussions. and that's this. What is the best advice that you would give to an 18-year-old you?
Ooh. Get into this in this industry earlier.
Okay, interesting. Okay. So that's
So,
something that I mean, you got into it fairly early anyway, didn't you?
I was in my 30s.
Oh, okay, right.
So, so,
So
well, I
you
should have done it much earlier.
and and why do you think you didn't get into it earlier, Giedre? Was it because you put it off, or because you didn't realize it was something you enjoyed and something you were good at?
To be honest, it's such a niche industry that I even didn't know of its existence, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's and my journey was obviously to start in the science field with my studies, and then I worked for Genzyme in the US, a pioneer biotech company. So I went into a commercial setting, and there's certain amount of knowledge I couldn't have obtained all that knowledge very, very quickly, because it takes time to understand scientific industry, to gain lab experience, then to gain sales experience, business experience. So and I sort of interestingly, I knew I wanted to go into the business side of biotechnology industry when I was 19, actually,
Yeah.
but I just didn't know how to get there. I
Ah,
didn't know how to get there. I was in, so I'm Lithuanian, and I was in Lithuania. I was finalizing my sort of bachelor's degree, and how do you go from being a recent graduate into going into the business world? It's not easy. So you have to go through a few steps. It has to be a journey, and I'm happy I've done it, but I wish I had done it earlier. It's a nice industry to be in.
great. Well, I hope there's young people out there that watch this and it encourages them to at least explore this industry and see if it's for them. And so, Giedre, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me today and sharing more about your business, but also your journey as well. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.